Well, I'm here to talk about the topic, let's say, is alone in a crowd. Um, I once had a discussion with a friend of mine on Instagram Live on this topic, alone in a crowd. And I guess you can check my um, Instagram page, or I'll upload it on Resilient 7 Youth Movement Instagram page, so you can also have a look at it. But I'm just going to share this from a more personal perspective, and then I'll also go into the other detail. So there was a time when I felt alone. And not that I've been abandoned by anyone, but just because I felt like I didn't fit in. You see, um, those things happen in life. And it might be because of change of environment or because of one's beliefs or what they do. But um, you might find yourself in a situation where you just don't fit in. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's been there. And my story happened when I was far from home, like really far. Was in Ukraine from the very first moment I stepped into Ukraine, and this guy approaches me and is talking in, I don't know what it was at that time. Was it Ukrainian or Russian? It was just all gibberish to me, and I didn't understand anything. And I wasn't the only person who had arrived from Zimbabwe. I was with a big group of people. But it just so happened that this guy just picked me from this whole crowd of people, and and it took me away. I was sweating. I couldn't understand what he was talking about, and I was in this position where I just did not understand what was going to happen. Why had he pulled me out of the rest of the people, and why just me? Though I could see the other guys there, I could see a whole lot of people around in the airport, but I just felt alone. Ever felt this feeling like you're being swallowed by a wormhole or something? That's the feeling I had at a point. And well, eventually this guy comes out, takes me into this room. Well, that was after, I don't know, it felt like hours that had elapsed, but it really wasn't. So he takes me into this room, and there was one guy speaking English there. They just asked me a few interview questions, I think it's protocol upon arrival there. And then, the other guys also joined me where I was, and then that's when I felt like, oh, finally. That did not end there. I walked into the street, and, well, my life in Ukraine started. Then I got to a point where I remember this one time there was this program at school. They had this, well, it's a club really for people who like music and the arts, and I went there because I really like music. I went there and realized I was literally the only not really foreign student, because there were some there from Russia, from Moldova, but I was the only black person around. Though I was used to that a little bit, because, well, in the shops you'll like, yeah. But this was like in a closed environment, and I didn't know, yeah. This was the first time I really felt like, whoa, I felt alone when I wasn't alone. I don't know if you get it. Because I just felt I didn't fit in. So to try and fit in, you try and do a lot of things. But for me, I just knew, if I didn't know the language, which I did not at this point, there was no way I was going to, feel like I fitted into this. But fortunately, we had one thing that was bringing us together, the music, we would sing, eventually a few more, African students joined a place. yeah, and life went on. But today I want to tell you about some little sea creature that I know about that illustrates this feeling very well. Um, so if you're watching this right now during the live stream, and if I'm certain I've never told you this story before, and you answer correctly down below, and you tell me the real answer to this question I'm going to I'm going to ask right now, then you're going to win a prize. So, well, not everyone. I have one, so whoever answers it first. So you better think fast. Okay, so this you have to tell me the name of the this sea creature that I'm going to be talking about. So this creature it's a sea creature. I've mentioned it. So what it does is I think it's every 6 months, if I'm not mistaken, it goes to the bottom of the sea and it goes through a process called molting, where it scrapes off its skin and its old skin, right? Right, just after doing that, it takes a small stone from the bottom of the ocean. I'm looking around for a stone, unfortunately, there is none here. It takes this small stone and puts it on its head. Now, this stone is called a status stone. The role of this stone is to help this little creature understand, if it's swimming the right way up. Without this stone, it would not know if it's swimming the right way up or upside down or sideways or whatever. So this stone, because of a gravitational pull that is, going against this creature's head, it feels that, gravitational force, the weight of the stone, really, let's say, and it understands that it's swimming right, basically. So they do this, it's normal for them, put the status stone and they swim around. So scientists, being scientists, they go to the sea, take these little sea creatures, put them into a large aquarium. And when they did that, they replaced all the small stones in the aquarium with iron fillings. So imagine what would happen when molting time came. They would all go down there, and instead of replacing the status stone with, another stone, they would replace it with an iron filling, because that's literally the only thing there. So they all did that. And then the scientists decided to take this experiment one step further. They put an electromagnetic force, above this large aquarium, which was to mimic the force of gravity. It was not it wasn't too powerful, it wasn't too weak, such that when the force was introduced, the little creatures felt it. Now, here's the second question, again with the prize. What do you think happened to the shrimp? I just told you the name of the creature, so anyway. So it seems like there is only a prize for this one, question now. What do you think happened at this moment when the electromagnetic force was applied and all these little shrimp had, that little iron filling on their head? What do you think happened? I'm going to give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the answer. What happened is, pause in case someone is writing. Okay. So what actually happened is that the shrimp felt this tug, right? This force. And they thought, oh no, we must be swimming the wrong way because, well, this little filling feels like it's going to fall off our head. When in actual fact, they are swimming the right way up. But it was the magnet that was, stronger than the force of gravity. So the little iron filling actually was being attracted towards the magnet. So instead of swimming the right way up, they flipped and started swimming upside down. Once they flipped, they started feeling that tag, that pull, as if it was, the usual, pull that they feel, which was the gravitational pull. And they thought, okay, now finally we're swimming the right way up. So imagine this whole aquarium filled with shrimp, and they are swimming upside down, right? Now imagine, in that tank, they then introduced another shrimp from the ocean that had done its molting process in the ocean and had a small stone in the head and not an iron filling. So when it was introduced, naturally, there was no gravitational, the electromagnetic force was not acting upon the small stone, so it was swimming the right way up. However, it must have felt awkward and out of place because it was the only one that was swimming that way. The rest of the shrimp was swimming upside down. Imagine the conversations that would have been happening in there. The other shrimp would be like, look at this guy. What does he think he's doing? Who does he think he is? He's swimming, the wrong way. And yet, that other shrimp was actually the only one that was swimming the right way. Because it had the status stone. So, of course, there's going to be a lesson from this. A lot of lessons that we can take from this. If you have something that you think you can learn from this, you can write it down below in the comments. I'm just going to give you the lessons I learned from it. Number one, you got to stand for your principles no matter what. It doesn't matter if the whole crowd is facing that way and you're facing that way. Stand for your principles. Be resilient and do not be moved because everyone else is flowing in a certain direction. Number one. Number two, make sure you feed your head with the right stuff. If the other shrimp had not taken the iron fillings and had, status stones in their head instead of iron fillings, then they would have been swimming the right way up. So if you have your status stone, maintain your status stone. Do not replace your status stone with anything else that the world might offer because, well, then anyone can tamper around with that and make you swim the wrong way. By swimming the wrong way, I basically mean you're going to live your life in the wrong way. You're going to lose, your life. You're going to lose the growth that you could have had in life. You basically not fulfill what you are supposed to fulfill. So if you want to be a youth that, that fulfills all that they're supposed to fulfill, a youth that is resilient, strong, a youth that, God is good, maintain that status stone. The status stone represents anything that you can feed your brains with through all the five senses. Smell, taste, sight, hearing, touch. All those are different ways through which information is fed to your head, and you have to guard all those avenues jealously and make sure that, you defend them and you're not going to let your thoughts, your principles be tampered with. Another lesson that comes from this, story of the shrimp is the one that you are going to write in the comments down below. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you learned from this, bearing in mind the topic of this talk, alone in the crowd. Alone in the crowd, maintain your principles, be principled. Okay? Be principled, maintain those principles, and do that which is right. I once had someone say, the genius is the one who knows what is expected of them and does it joyfully. One who knows what is expected of them and finds a way of doing it joyfully, finding happiness in doing it, and only then will you be successful and be self-fulfilling. So, status stone. Always remember that. Even though you might seem alone in a crowd, maintain your status tone. Maintain who you are. Maintain your principles. Be resilient. Stay resilient.